is up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new edition of Pick a Card, brought to you by J&J Toy Giants. I am your host, JD. Today I'm going to be doing a special edition of Pick a Card because it's actually not a movie, it's not a sports card, it's not a TV card. These trading cards are actually based on a boy band from the 90s. And no, it is not NSYNC. No, it is not Backstreet Boys. No, it's not 98 Degrees. I'm talking about New Kids on the Block. And these are actually done through Topps. So New Kids on the Block are a bunch of guys from Boston. You might have seen some of them. Donnie Wahlberg, who actually plays in the hit series Blue Bloods on CBS. But New Kids on the Block is where he got his start before he became an actor and everything like that. So there were five members of New Kids on the Block, and I'm going to go over them right now. And I'm going to show you what they look like. So there's Donnie. We already talked about Donnie Wahlberg. Then there's Jordan Knight. Then there's his brother, Jonathan Knight. And then there's Danny Wood and Joey McIntyre. So if you've seen, or if you have anyone like older brothers, sisters, or mothers that have grown up in the early 90s, you might have heard them talk about these guys once or twice, and they were kind of like the equivalent of what's the new band out right now? I forget their name.
3 hours later.
Oh yes, BTS. That was the one that I was looking for. And so so they were the equivalent of BTS back in the 90s. But there were so many different boy bands. I guess you would say the first boy band would have been the Jackson 5, was one of my personal favorites. Then after that, who else? Was New Edition, which was New Kids on the Block, but the African American version, because they both could dance and they can sing. And of course, New Kids on the Block came out. Shortly thereafter was Hanson, which they actually played more of a guitar, so they were more of a band than a boy band. They didn't really dance. But then, of course, came Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees. I mean, the 90s had a real big craze from like 96 all the way up to through 2000s, the early 2000s, of boy bands that just exploded on the scene. So New Kids on the Block, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, and who else? LFO, and stuff like that. But I digress. You didn't come here to talk about boy bands, but you came here to look at some trading cards. So I'm going to do a card break. I have about 4 of these packs that come with 8 super gloss photo cards and 1 sticker. And again, these are actually from Topps. So let's do like we always do. We're going to do a card break. All right, so the very first card for the New Kids on the Block from Topps. So we're going to go for Jonathan. That's Jordan's brother. He's the shy one. There was always one in every group. You can see if you get these cards, you can put them all together, and there's a picture of them. Now here's Joey. Or Joe. Well, Joey. No, Joe. Joey. Yeah, they call him Joe and Joey. And he is the young one. Most famously from singing Please Don't Go Girl. There's Joey. And there's Jordan. Now, let's see, how many albums they had? They had their self-entitled album that had such songs as Popsicle. I think that was their main single, Popsicle. I don't want to sing the song because I'll probably get hit with copyright. But so you can see Jordan. So they had their the next one, Hangin' Tough, which had The Right Stuff, Hangin' Tough, Valentine Girl, and then of course they had Step by Step, And I forget the name of their other album right after that. They had Dirty Dog on it. So you can see this one is one of the pictures of them together. I think this is the one, if you get some of the cards together, this is the picture you're going to see. The newest new kid. It won't be easy for being the new kid. Look at, there's Danny. Danny was the best dancer out of all of them. My sister was a big fan. She had she had the dolls, she had the towels. I think she had one of the folders she used to put in her notebook for paper. There's Jonathan. There is Jordan. Ooh, double of Joe. There's Donnie. So you may know Donnie and his brother Mark Wahlberg. And they also are the proprietors of many Wahlburgers fast food restaurant in Massachusetts and throughout the United States. And I believe they have them in all over the world. There's Donnie and Joe. The same double. Double of Joe. Double of I think that's Joe. Not Joe. Is it? Oh, is it Joe? Oh, I guess it's Joe. I thought it was Jordan. So here is them in concert when they're about to do one of their songs. And there's Joey again. Oh no, Yeah, but that's weird because it's Joe. It's clearly Joe, but then it says Jordan Knight. That's weird. Another one of Donnie. Alright. I know this is from the Hangin' Tough photo shoot. And I believe this is they also filmed some of the B-roll for Please Don't Go Girl. Alright, and then there's Hangin' Tough. The Boys, Hangin' Tough. That was one of the name of their famous songs. I'd sing them, but then I'd get hit with copyright. And yes, if you do sing it, they will hit you with a copyright with YouTube. So, Donnie, Jordan and Joe. All the new kids come from large families. Who has the most siblings? Who has the most siblings? I think it's Donnie. Donnie has the most siblings. Alright, and then there's Donnie, Jonathan, Jordan, and Joe. It looks like. Another one of Donnie. There we go. Alright, so there's Joey, Donnie. This was actually during their self-entitled album. It's probably the one they were doing their photo shoot there. These are the last two. Another double. Oh no, this wasn't a double. Jonathan, Joey, and Danny. And then Jordan and Donnie. All right, these bring back a lot of memories. I wish I could sing and serenade you all. Maybe I'll do that on TikTok or something. But yeah, thank you so very much for joining us once again for Pick a Card. And wasn't able to find the card that had the answer to Joe's favorite drink. But yeah, so that's it. Thank you so very much. I'll be with you in a moment. And that's all the time we have today for this edition of Pick a Card, brought to you by J&J Toy Giants. Again, I am your host, JD. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also comment on any of our video submissions on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And also follow us on TikTok, and we're on Twitch now. So follow us on Twitch. I'll leave the link in the description of where you can find us. And thank you so very much. Stay safe. Keep on cruising.